Hi, and welcome to Momsense. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Kambria.
This week, we're going to talk about being a servant spouse. Um, so, I am really curious to understand what being a servant spouse means to you because I was talking with a girlfriend today, actually, about, she was asking, what's your next topic? Everybody does that.
I
What's your
love
next
it.
topic? And I love getting to share a little bit about what we do. And so when talking to her about being a servant spouse, what is being a servant spouse to her looked very different than what's being a servant spouse to me.
Absolutely. And ultimately, what's funny is it's really just what works for your marriage.
100%.
And
100%.
so I actually have a funny story
Okay.
to open us up with. And also, I do want to say if you have a topic you want us to talk about,
Yep.
let us know. We love
Yep.
that. I
Yep.
love, getting feedback from people. It's fun.
Yeah, it always helps too, because what you're going through is something that we probably are going through or will go through or have been through.
Exactly.
And so it's always good to talk about it because, again, I may not have gone through it yet, and you have, or I have, and you haven't, and we can talk about it and figure out where everybody lies in that situation.
Exactly.
So it's always good to have a tribe of people
For
to
sure.
walk through life with you.
Different viewpoints makes things a
Yes.
lot better, especially when they're positive, when you're in a
Yes.
negative funk. But anyway, so my funny story about being a servant spouse. Well, in my marriage, it looks different than most. And some people are sometimes like, that is ridiculous. Well, this morning was a that is ridiculous moment because my sweet, wonderful husband wakes me up. He's getting ready at like 6 a.m. Wakes me up. He's like, hey, babe, are my gray pants clean? And I'm like, I'm asleep, like straight up, 6 a.m. I'm asleep. He kept me up late last night. And now he's, hey, babe, are my gray pants clean? And every ounce of me wanted to be so frustrated. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, yes, they are. I got up and I got them. It wasn't worth the fight.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, last night I didn't get the laundry done. There was no reason to be angry at him about it. And sure, a lot of people would be pissed off about that,
I probably would be that person, be like, go find your own dang
But
pants.
for me, it's like, that is my job. I get to stay at home. I should have those things done because I know that his gray pants are his favorite pants. So I try to pretty much wash them every day.
Note to self, pay attention to what pants Justin wears.
Justin wears his gray pants all the time. And something else funny that he does, very similar, which I've learned to laugh at, and this is just an extreme. We're talking extremes here. We'll get to the good stuff in a minute. But he'll wake me up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., and be like, can I have some of your water? And I'm like, I am asleep. What? And now I've really learned I just learned to laugh at it because I'm like, normally I always have a bottle of water beside his bed. And then I slip up and it's like, it's so easy to get so angry about stuff so quickly. But then it's like, sometimes it's on me. Like, because he is used to me serving him in that small, act of making sure he has water beside his bed.
Yeah. So for me, when I start thinking about being a servant spouse and I start thinking about being a servant spouse while being a parent, that's where my brain went on this topic.
Yeah.
Is obviously the Bible says that you are to put your husband first before your children. And it's so easy as a mom, I think as a parent in general, but as a mom for you to put your kids above your spouse.
Absolutely.
It is every single day you are running around and catering to these little people. And it's very easy to be like, honey, I don't have time for you right now.
Yeah.
I'm doing whatever for the baby. And so I think being a servant spouse goes both ways as well.
Yes.
You want to be a servant wife, but you also should be having a servant husband. And to me, being a servant spouse is, hey, honey, I'm going to do bath time. While Xander's in the bath, would you please set out the diaper, get out pajamas, Xander takes Zyrtec like before bed every night. So can you go ahead and get the medicine
Yeah.
pulled? Can you make sure a bottle is ready? Or hey, I'm trying to cook dinner right now. Can you grab Xander a snack while I do this? It's those little bitty things.
Teamwork.
Yes, it's those little bitty things that help you as a parent. And then, like I said, the other side of things is like you want to put your husband first,
Yes.
but sometimes it's not always easy to do that.
But when you do have a husband who is on your team and who is working with you, then you get more time together because y'all collectively
knocked it out.
Yeah. And I would say we are very much the same way. Justin always handles Jed's bedtime and bath time. I always handle Oakley's.
Yeah.
And we have some time with Kinsey, then we pray with her, and she goes to bed, then we have our time.
Yeah.
And teamwork is so important. And communicating the things that you love and the things that you don't love. Because if it's a big deal to you and Brady can take on that and help serve you better.
Yes.
It makes a huge, change in your marriage.
Well, and on that, when I was talking to my girlfriend about the being a servant spouse, we actually kind of got on the topic of love languages, which is so true to like learning how to communicate with your spouse or learning how your spouse needs to be loved. It's also learning how you need to be loved and what sets what expectations are set for you. And so for me and for Brady, both of our top is acts of service. So you can see where that's fantastic and also terrible at the same time. Because it's like, honey, I need you to do the dishes while I'm at work because the sink is piled up from the night before. And then I come home and I'm like, the dishes aren't freaking done? Are you serious right now? And he's like, well, I've been doing laundry all day so that we had clean clothes. And to him, he's doing an act of service. Yeah. But that's not the act of service that I wanted.
Yes.
And it happens vice versa.
Yeah.
And so in that, you recognize how to be a servant spouse. Is your spouse a person that needs to be, told that you love them? Are they somebody that needs to receive a gift? Like you go to Walmart and you pick up a bag of candy because you saw it and it's their favorite candy or whatever that looks like. It's those teeny tiny things that add up and make a big impact in being a servant spouse.
Absolutely. And so Justin's is words of affirmation. And when
he's very good at giving words of affirmation.
He's extremely good. I'm glad you said that. Justin, you're great at that.
Yes, you are.
But so I know whenever life is just crazy and all of the things are just gone wrong, when I want to be frustrated, when I want to be upset and not appreciative and just, it's easy to be a nagging wife. I sit back and I'm like, hey, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm proud of you. I love you. And it's knowing that.
I say that teeny tiny thing can completely reset the season that you're in. Like you guys could be frustrated with each other or ready to go at it, ready to fight about it. And you take a step back and say, you know what? I'm sorry. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm grateful for all the things that you do. And that can change the trajectory of what the rest of your day is going to look like.
Yes. 100%. It's the little things that even for me, I know he works so much. I know he does a lot for our family. Mm-hmm. And then it's easy though, whenever you are like, wait, but what about me? Are you serving me? And it's easy to do that, but you need to ensure it's not all about you. Being a servant spouse is serving your spouse. And if they're not doing their job, communication.
I say that's another situation.
So I saw an article not too long ago about things that husbands and wives do and know. And I feel like it's pretty relevant. Being a servant spouse is knowing your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
How does Brady like his steak cooked? Does Brady like eggs? If he likes eggs, how does he like them cooked?
Mm-hmm.
How does he like his coffee? Can you make his coffee? And so the article...
No, that's why I go to Starbucks.
Justin does too. But all of that to say, being a servant spouse is knowing your spouse and knowing all of the little details.
Mm-hmm.
And the article had said that it was an article about a couple who had had an affair. And the man is now with someone else and is self-reflecting and saying, I mean, she doesn't even know me. I miss when my wife would do this. I would throw my clothes right by the laundry bin, not inside of it. Justin does that one too. And she didn't complain. Well, the new girl is like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And it's like,
Brady laundry every single morning because Brady gets up and leaves before I get up every single morning. I can just tell you, I walk in the bathroom and his shorts are in the floor in the bathroom. If you would have walked 2 steps further to the closet, the laundry bin is on the inside of the door of the closet. And I'm like, let me just pick your shorts up for you. But this is where knowing your spouse, right? I also know that he probably just wore those to sleep, and he's probably gonna like maybe put them on whenever he gets back home. And so if I pick him up and put him in the laundry room, he's like, "Why'd you put my laundry in there?" I was gonna wear that again. It's like, okay, so I just started leaving. Leaving them.
But that article really makes you think though, because it's like, man, God gave me Justin for a reason because we operate so well together.
Yeah.
And we know the things that trigger each other. And this man self-reflecting and saying like, oh my gosh, she's picking these fights. She doesn't even know how I like my steak. She doesn't know the things. She's not your servant spouse. She's wasn't your spouse to begin with, but it's the little things. What do they like? How do they like it?
Yeah.
And being mindful of the things and of their time and hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard.
Sometimes,
it's hard as a mom.
Sometimes being a servant spouse is letting your husband go sit and play video games while you clean the house.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously that goes the other way because Brady picks up Xander every couple of weeks for me to go get my nails done. And so being a servant spouse is him allowing me the time and being a present father and being okay with keeping his kiddo by himself. There's a lot of dads out there that aren't okay with keeping their babies by themselves, and that's okay. But yeah, for me, that's being servant to me. Or like I said, making sure we definitely have our own like chores in the house.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're boy chores or girl chores. They're just we do them. Like Brady does the laundry. That's not something I typically do. But as far as like cooking, dishes, things like that, that's kind of where my chores lie. Like Brady doesn't really vacuum the floors or mop the floors. I do that, but I also don't do the yard.
Yeah.
Right? And so being servant of each other is making sure that, you know, you're picking up your weight around the house. He's picking up his weight around the house. And then we're also both doing even keel of being parents.
Yes.
Like last night I had a work event. I didn't get home until almost 10 o'clock at night. He took care of Xander, got him in bed, all of the good stuff. I got home and I said, hey, did you give him his medicine? And he's like, oh, no. And it's like, that's okay. You did all the other things that you don't typically do. Don't worry about it. Xander, of course, woke up whenever I got home, and so I was able to give him his medicine. But it's one of those things of like, you did everything else. I'm not going to be mad at you about the one thing that you maybe missed.
Yes, and I will say, like, as we talk more and as, you know, we go on to different topics, it really helps me think and to be more positive in mindsets where normally I would flip. Because we are able to self-reflect. We talk about things, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. You're able to recognize how
it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's not. And your life would be so much worse if he wasn't there for you to do that.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be able to.
No.
And there's lots of women out there that aren't able to take the time away and serve themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. And, you know, I could never imagine life without Justin. Like, I need him.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's when the laundry doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's not going and blowing all of your savings accounts like that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
Fighting words right there. Not fighting words. But, you know, we'd be arguing about that.
Yes.
But, you know, it's not that big of a deal.
No. No, not at all. And again, like you said, we are able to take the time to reflect and recognize just what great lives we do have the opportunity to live. and how blessed we are for our spouses.
Oh, for sure.
And so when when you have that conversation, you leave here and it makes you want to continue to be even more of a serving spouse.
Agreed.
Brady and I, this last weekend, he walked in from work on Saturday night, was like, "Hey, let's go." I was like, "Where are we going? What are we doing?" And he said, we don't have a free weekend for several weeks. I mean, basically until the new year. So let's pack up and go to Broken Bow. I was like, "Are you serious right now?" He was like, "Heck yeah, let's go." And so we thankfully I have an amazing boss. And she was like, "Girl, yes." And I have friends that were like, "We will come and take care of the dogs." And Brady's parents, thankfully, are close by. And they were like, "Yes, obviously they just have to drop them off and pick them up from school. So their job is easy."
Yep.
And we went and we just had like great one-on-one time.
That's so good.
Unplugged.
So important.
And just Brady Kyleigh time. And again, to me, that is being a servant spouse of like, hey, I will go wherever you go.
Yeah.
And so if that means you're ready to go to Broken Bow, let's go.
We're going.
And so it was so good. I think it's so important for you to reconnect without your children.
It is. And that, like you said, that is serving your spouse. And, one way that Justin serves me and our family really well, which I think it's not talked about too much, especially around men.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Justin loves and leads our family in prayer and with the Lord. And I know he's praying for me every day.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's praying for my kids.
Yeah.
He makes sure we get up Sunday and go to church. Being a spiritual leader is a huge role in serving your family because you're aligning your family in a way that it will continue, on and on. And it is easy to just be like, you know what? We're not going to go to church today.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're not perfect. For us, though, and for me and for our family, I know that our family is rooted and our foundation is in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And that it is the way that it is because of Justin.
Mm-hmm. My eyes just started burning. That's Jesus.
but and that's how he serves us, and he serves us so well in that. And that's for me, it's huge. I'm like, whoa, I'm blessed. You leave your clothes on the floor.
I think that's amazing. I think putting your family at the forefront of everything that you do is, again, just part of being serving to what the future holds.
Absolutely.
Having a son, I want my son to look up to his dad, and I want him to see all the amazing things that Brady is and aim for those, because Brady has such a heart for giving, and he has insane tenacity. There is not a give up bone in this man's body. And I hope that those are things that Xander acquires. Mm-hmm. And I hope that one of the things I told Brady recently actually was, I want Xander to see the way that you love me, so that he knows the right way to love his spouse in the future.
Huge.
I actually told somebody recently that has a child on the way that there is nothing that I find greater joy in this world than watching the interactions between Brady and Xander, because he is such a good daddy, and Xander lights up. When we got back from vacation, I don't want to admit this, when we got back from vacation, Brady and I, of course, in the car, like, well, let's see who he goes to first. And I was in the room and I was talking to him, and he like wasn't coming to me. Oh my God, Brady walked in the room and this kid was like, "Daddy, Daddy." I was like, "Oh my God, of course." So that broke my heart a little bit.
Yeah,
but it also made my heart very warm and fuzzy to know that my son is so obsessed with his daddy. Yeah. And I know that the feeling is mutual because his daddy loves that boy. Again, I just hope that Xander sees the way that Brady leads our family, and lives his life, and loves his spouse, and is able to one day. Obviously, you want him to do those things, but I hope that he does them better.
Yeah. Oh, and he will.
I hope that he does them better, and I hope he finds a wife that is also able to have great leadership in her life, so that she can be a good spouse.
Oh, absolutely. I pray for my kids. Husband and wife, yeah, I got a girl and a boy, but I pray for their future spouses all the time, because I'm like,
It's
That's
hard as a parent to let them
it
go.
is. Oh man.
I
It
am not ready for the dating phase.
uh, oh man. No.
Because first of all, if some daddy is like saying something about his daughter, you know,
Yep.
to my son, it's gonna be game on.
Oh yeah.
But I know that I would feel the exact same way if the roles were reversed. Like I would never say something
Yeah.
negatively about a girl. And so it's hard to let your babies go.
It is. And Kinsey, she had somebody ask her to homecoming, and her best friend FaceTimes us. All the girls are like in the locker room, I think, at this point during halftime at the football
She's so
game.
cute.
And they FaceTime us. And Carrington's like, so and so asked Kinsey to homecoming. And Justin immediately pipes up. He's like, Carrington, tell me everything. And, he's like being all,
Yeah.
super
Oh my
dad
gosh.
over there. And Carrington is just spilling the tea. And all the other girls are like in the background, all giddy and laughing. And it was so cute to see it. But I'm like, oh my gosh. We're here. We're approaching it.
I
Like,
have to
ooh.
tell you, this made me laugh so hard. So Brady watched one of our podcasts, and you had mentioned how Kinsey has all this like makeup and stuff,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like, "She's too young to be wearing makeup."
Yep. Right.
And I said,
You're
"Brady,
right.
she's 12," and he's like, "Well, if we have a daughter, she's never wearing makeup." And I'm like, "Wrong, sir, wrong. Especially if she's my child, she can do whatever she wants to. Okay."
Hey, Kinsey does what she wants on her own budget.
Oh
so-
my gosh! And I told him that I was like, "Well, she buys her own stuff."
Yeah.
But he's like, nope, she's too young. So Brady's not even a girl dad, and he'd be protective of your child.
He's already ready. Brady, thank you. You are right. And Justin could not
So
agree
don't
with you
tell
more.
him about homecoming because he'd be like, sorry, nope,
Oh.
she can't go.
Oh, Justin was just like, no, like she's not dating anybody. What's going on?
Oh
and
my
I'm like,
gosh.
and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I love that her friends
Yes.
like love us so much that they're
That
like,
they're calling and
oh,
saying,
we're
hey.
gonna FaceTime them.
Yes.
I'm like, does that mean we're cool parents?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. I
But,
love that
gosh,
so much.
so fun. And in this topic, in this everything with parenting and having a husband, serving your spouse in moments like that where they are very territorial and they have
unhinged.
big opinions. It's difficult.
It is, especially if your opinion is differing.
Yes, the makeup thing, I mean, it would definitely not be happening if we were paying for it. I mean, her face cream's like this much and it's like $50. I'm like,
What for? What for?
why?
You don't need no anti-aging nothing.
Right? Exactly. But, I'm like, Justin's like, absolutely, nope. And I'm like, I'm not buying it. And you have to come to a mutual agreement with your spouse on the little things like that, because those things can escalate to bigger things and bigger arguments that are just not even worth it.
Well, to your point, like as the holidays roll in, Brady and I grew up very differently. And so we are doing our due diligence now as a partnership to start having those conversations of what the holidays are going to look like for us, so that we can tell our families, hey, this is what we decided as a team, so that nobody's feelings are hurt. But in that season, we absolutely butt heads because we have very different opinions on what the holiday season looks like, or what is the best way to do this or to do that, or even parenting styles.
Ooh.
I would say most of the time we agree, but when we don't agree, that's rough. That is a rough time.
It is, and especially as Xander gets older, there will be things like with Justin and Jet. Sometimes I'm like, you cannot let him do that, and he's like, he's a boy, and I'm like,
see, we're the opposite. I'm like, he's a boy, and Brady's like, he's gonna get hurt. I'm like, Brady, what are you gonna do when because Brady's already like looking for a 4-wheeler or whatever for him. I'm like, what are you gonna do whenever he wrecks for the first time and he's got a busted up elbow or something?
it's gonna happen.
Then are you gonna be telling me he's a boy, or are you gonna be telling me he needs a Band-Aid for his boo-boo? Like,
yeah.
So we do have very differing opinions on that
Parenting.
stuff. Yes.
Yep.
That's okay though.
Hard to serve your spouse when you don't agree as a parent.
You do it anyways though.
You do it anyway.
You find the compromise.
And then you go back to your marriage and you continue to serve him in that way, because all of these little things can get in the way and can distract you and cause unhappiness and cause negativity. So you have to bring yourself back to light, come full circle.
Yep.
Reflect and think about things more positively. Your thoughts can mess with you. Your mind controls you.
Your mind can be really great or it can be really evil.
Yep. And that's why I wake up every morning and I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, it's going to be a good day. Today, this morning, it's picture day. My kids are sleepyheads. And it didn't go as planned. And then I had a meeting at 9:30 and I show up and the lady says, how was your morning? And I could have just been like,
girl,
you know what? It was rough and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? God is good. I made it here safely. It's going to be a good day. And I'm like, boom, that mindset.
Yeah.
Turned it around.
Yeah.
I did almost get in a wreck on the way here though. And I was like, Lord, you better quit messing with me.
That's not Jesus.
Right? The devil slowed me down. He's like, you ain't going to go talk today. I'm just kidding.
We got things to share.
Exactly. But on another note, like you mentioned, getting away, going on a trip with your spouse, recharging.
Even if it's not a trip.
Even if it's not a trip.
Sometimes it's a picnic in the bedroom floor with a movie and some popcorn, right? Order a pizza and put the kids to bed. And
we've done that plenty of times.
And, have your one-on-one time.
Yep.
We were super fortunate. We have been saving up to be able to go do something. And being able to go do that was super nice because generally life happens and you're saving up for vacation and suddenly you got to go buy something else. And so your savings account dwindles right
You get a flat
down.
tire and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Something happens.
Always.
And so it was so great, but it's not always a vacation.
No, honestly, a lot of it is being unplugged. Put your phone down. Put your phone down. Go tell your spouse you love them. Put your phone down. Go talk to your kids. Last night, Justin was like, you know what? We're going to go outside so Jack can ride his bike. I'm like, well, okay. We had a ton of different things that we needed to do. We have a wedding tomorrow, like lots of stuff that we're like, trying to get situated. And I'm like, yeah, we are. So we all just went outside.
How nice is it though, as a couple, like when Xander's in his room and playing, Brady and I will generally go in there and sit together.
Yeah.
And like just play with him. How nice is it to take the time with your spouse to play and hang out with your child?
Oh, let me tell you what, when we get to playing, especially when the whole family's involved, it just warms my heart so much.
Being a mom is literally like
it's the best.
The best thing.
We will build like massive Hot Wheels tracks. Like, YouTube Caleb. I don't know if you know who YouTube Caleb is.
I don't.
But you'll find out one day. And I mean, Kenzie's involved, Jet's involved. Justin is figuring out how to like make it launch and like go further. And I'm like so overwhelmed with joy because
that's
I'm like,
the best.
This is my life.
These are the things that you pray for.
Yeah.
This is the things that you dream about. And it's so much better than anything you could have dreamed of.
Yeah. It is. And then in the background, Oakley's like over there, like 200 Hot Wheels about to choke on the tire. I'm like, well, it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
We're good. But absolutely seeing your spouse play with your kids and just being fun. And the fun, the weird, the goofy that comes out, it's like, man, you know what? I love you even more right now.
Yes.
Like you're just looking real crazy and I love it.
It is literally the best. I can't think of anything better to do with my time than spend it with my two favorite guys.
I love that. So good. Quality time is the best time. That's for sure.
Yes.
Well, to end this episode today, do you have a mom? Win or fail?
I don't know that this is a win or a fail. This is just kind of this is life. So this morning, This morning I went to go drop Xander off at school and I walked in and his teacher was the girl at the front desk um was like, "Hi, mom." Um
You're like, oh
I
man.
know. She said, "I just wanted to talk to you and see how you would feel about Xander moving up to the next class."
Oh,
And she was like, "I know," because like I think she could see the like tears welling in my
already,
eyes.
already.
She's like, "I know. He's just gonna visit. It's gonna be fill in the blank teacher's name. Not trying to put her out there. Fill in the blank teacher's name, and she's been in the classroom the last couple of days in his classroom because I guess the big kid class only has 3 kids, where the little kid class has like 8, and so they're trying to
Yeah,
like
make it even.
help each other out with all the little snot nosed children running around. One of them snotty as mine, and she was like, he'll just visit. I know that, Miss Donna and him are really close. And I was like, okay, I mean, I guess he's gonna have to move at some point. I mean, I know he's gonna have to go to kindergarten, high school at some point, so might as well. And I got in the car and when I tell you, like, I cried, bawled the whole way to work. And I like
It's okay.
went inside work, got in there, and I was like,
I'm still sad. That's great.
So I don't know if it's a mom fail or a mom win. It's just a mom thing because I got in and I was talking to my girlfriend and she was like, "It's okay. You're allowed to feel this way." And I'm like, I think it's great that he's moving up. I'm so excited for him because he's going to be in a more challenging class.
Yeah.
His little brain is going to be working more and all of those things. He's going to be around kids more his age versus like the little babies. But I'm so sad because that means he's getting bigger.
Yeah.
I cried a lot whenever I dropped him off at daycare.
I bet.
So like initially his first like week, I cried every day. So the thought of him moving to the next classroom,
You're like,
I'm
hello.
like, this is the feeling all over again
This
of
is
dropping him
not
off on the
my
first day.
baby anymore. He's turning into a toddler.
Y'all, he's like,
Ugh.
I'm telling you, I think he's gonna be walking soon because he's pulling up and like scooching on
Oh,
stuff.
man. Yeah.
I'm in trouble.
It'll be fine.
I know.
Just cherish every moment, every
I might
season.
cry about it when we get off of there.
Yeah, cry a lot because
I do.
man, even
I
if it's
look
sad
at
tears,
him.
it's still like happiness because you're like, ah,
Y'all, somebody needs to not have a camera on his first birthday because don't be catching
Yeah,
me in
crying.
big old tears.
that's funny.
Okay, what about you?
So this week, I would like to think that I have a mom fail. And like I said, sometimes my life, I just wonder, like, do people really have this weird of stuff happen to them? Or
Probably.
so I am in the kitchen. I'm probably cooking or doing something. I don't know. I'm in the kitchen. The kids are playing. The kids are playing nicely. Kids being just Jet and Oakley at this point. Kenzie's at school. Jet runs into the kitchen. And they were like in the hallway-ish, so I couldn't exactly see them, but I could hear them and make sure that they were okay. Jet runs into the kitchen where I'm cooking. Puts his hand up. He said, "Mom, oh my gosh, look at this." And I'm like, I grab his hand and I'm like, "What is that?" He goes, "Well, Oakley pooped." And I'm like, "Why is it on your hand?" And he goes, "Well, I smelled it, so I just reached down in there to make sure before I told you." And I'm like, "Oh, geez." Thank you. For the
What a good brother.
matter of fact, he's like, "I'm just going to double check before I say something. Could have been a fart." And I'm like, "Don't ever do that again, son." Like, what? Why? Why?
Oh my goodness.
Oakley's 1, Jet's 3. It's so fun and it's so funny. And like I said, sometimes I'm like, is this even real life?
Brady's ready for round 2. And then you tell me your stories, and I'm like, you need to back up, buddy.
You're like, hold on a minute. Yeah, no. It's fun though. It's fun. It's memories.
Oh, man.
It's memories.
But
And
Brady couldn't do it. Like, Brady couldn't do the poopy diaper. Like, Brady doesn't even change poopy diapers right now.
it's
So
rough.
if Xander stuck his hand down into said new baby's butt and was like, "Look, Daddy," Brady would pass out. And then I'd be stuck to deal with it.
Yeah, he'll be fine. You know what? We all survive. And then we look back and we reflect. And we're like, man,
That was funny.
that was funny. We made the
Hey,
memories.
Jet, you know what you did when you were a baby?
Yes. Oh, man. I got so many
You gotta
videos.
start a book.
Uh-huh. No, I got so many videos. I needed to just, like, compile them all for his graduation party.
Oh,
And he's
my
going to be
gosh.
like, Mom, I'm mortified.
That's hilarious.
It's okay, though. That's what we're supposed to do as parents.
Right?
You got to embarrass
You gotta
your kids.
embarrass them.
Yeah.
I'm totally ready to be that mom that's like,
Oh, me too. Me too. Me too.
and he's like, stop, Mom.
Oh, that's Justin, too.
Roll the windows
Oh.
down and jam out to some old school something. Whenever, I don't know what's old school at this point for him, but.
Oh,
he's
Justin
like,
will play Who Let the Dogs Out on full
Mom,
blast.
this is terrible.
It's fun.
I'm here for it.
Same.
All right. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Kambria.